Kai Cenat is the biggest streamer on the internet right now. Millions of subscribers. Record-breaking numbers on Twitch and YouTube. Collabs with the biggest names in music, sports, and entertainment. By every metric that matters in the creator economy, this man is untouchable. Or at least he was. Because right now in 2026, Kai Cenat is facing something no amount of subscribers can protect him from. Platform bans, federal scrutiny, advertiser exits, and a legal framework that is closing in on him from every direction. So what exactly happened? How did the world's biggest streamer go from being the golden boy of digital entertainment to being a liability that platforms can no longer afford to protect? Today we are breaking down the full story. And trust me, it goes way deeper than you think. Chapter 1. How Kai built his empire. To understand where Kai Cenat is right now, you have to understand how he got here in the first place. Kai did not build his empire by playing it safe. He built it by being the most chaotic, unpredictable, and entertaining personality on the internet. His streams were not just content. They were events. Celebrities showed up. Rappers freestyled. Athletes hung out. Random fans got the wildest experiences of their lives. And millions of people tuned in every single time because you genuinely never knew what was going to happen next. That energy made him the most subscribed streamer on Twitch. It made him a cultural icon. It made him the kind of creator that platforms loved because he brought traffic, engagement, and subscribers in numbers that nobody else could match. But here's the thing about building an empire on chaos. At some point the chaos stops being the product, and it starts being the problem. Chapter 2. The Union Square Riot. The moment everything changed. If there is one single moment that changed the trajectory of Kai Cenat's career and the entire conversation around creator liability, it is the Union Square Riot of 2023. Kai announced a giveaway event in Union Square, New York City. What nobody anticipated was the scale of the response. Thousands of people showed up. The crowd became uncontrollable. There was chaos, property damage, injuries, and arrests. New York City was brought to a standstill because of a live stream giveaway. Kai was arrested. He faced charges. And while he ultimately avoided serious legal consequences at the time, the damage to his relationship with platforms and advertisers was already done. But more importantly, that event became a blueprint. A legal blueprint that showed exactly what could happen when a creator with massive influence organizes real-world events without proper safety infrastructure. Platforms started paying attention. Lawyers started drafting new clauses. And government regulators started asking very uncomfortable questions about who exactly is responsible when a live streamer causes public chaos. Chapter 3. The New Platform Safety Rules. Fast forward to 2026. And the internet is a very different place from what it was even 2 years ago. Both Twitch and YouTube have rolled out major platform safety updates this year. And when you read the fine print of these new policies, it becomes very clear who they are targeting. The new rules specifically address coordinated real-world disturbances, non-consensual public filming, creator-led events that cause significant disruption to public spaces, and most importantly, content that generates what platforms are now calling excessive moderation costs and legal overhead. That last one is critical, because what platforms are essentially saying is this: if hosting your content costs us more in legal fees, moderation resources, and regulatory pressure than you make us in advertising revenue, you are a liability, not an asset. And for the first time in his career, Kai Cenat is being looked at as a liability. Chapter 4. The Advertiser Exodus. Here is where the business side of this story gets really interesting. Because Kai Cenat's subscriber numbers are still massive. His viewership is still enormous. By pure traffic metrics, he is still one of the most valuable creators on the internet. But traffic is not the only metric that matters to platforms anymore. Major blue-chip advertisers, the brands that pay the highest rates for sponsorships and platform ad placements, have been quietly exiting creator deals that they consider brand safety risks. And Kai's unpredictable format, his history of public incidents, and the demographic that his chaos-driven content attracts have made him exactly the kind of creator that premium advertisers are now avoiding. Think about it from a platform's perspective. Yes, Kai brings millions of viewers. But if the biggest spending advertisers refuse to place their ads on his content, and if hosting his streams requires extra moderation costs and legal protection, then the math starts working against him very quickly. This is what experts are calling the revenue paradox. Massive audience, shrinking revenue, and a platform that is stuck between keeping its biggest star and protecting its most profitable relationships. Chapter 5. The Influence Liability Clause. Now here is the part of this story that most people are not talking about. And it might be the most important part of all. Hidden inside the updated terms of service agreements between major platforms and their top-tier creators is something that legal experts are calling the influence liability clause. And what this clause essentially says is this: if a creator's offline actions cause significant stock price volatility, regulatory scrutiny, or reputational damage to the platform has the right to terminate that creator's contract immediately and permanently. Let me say that again. It is not just about what you do on stream anymore. It is about what you do in real life. It is about how your actions affect the platform's stock price. It is about whether government regulators are asking questions because of you. For a creator like Kai Cenat, who has already been arrested once and whose events have already caused federal-level conversations about creator accountability, this clause is essentially a loaded gun pointed directly at his career. And the platforms know it. And now Kai's legal team knows it too. So the big question is, can Kai Cenat actually survive this? Is there a version of 2026 where he comes out the other side of all this with his career intact? Some people think he could move to independent platforms. Kick has already been positioning itself as the Wild West alternative to Twitch and YouTube, a place with looser moderation and more creator freedom. And Kai has been linked to conversations with Kick before. But here is the reality. Moving to an independent platform does not solve the core problem. The legal liability that follows Kai Cenat is not a Twitch problem or a YouTube problem. It is a real-world problem. Federal investigators do not care which platform he streams on. Advertisers do not care if he switches to Kick. The influence liability clause follows the creator, not the platform. The uncomfortable truth is that Kai Cenat built his empire in an era where the internet had very few rules. And that era is officially over. The platforms have decided. The advertisers have decided. And the government has decided. The age of the untouchable superstar streamer is done. Here is the bigger picture that nobody wants to say out loud. Kai Cenat's situation is not just about one streamer. It is about the entire model of chaotic, disruption-based content creation that defined the last decade of internet culture. What is happening to Kai right now is a warning shot to every creator who built their brand on pushing limits, breaking rules, and asking for forgiveness later. The platforms are no longer willing to absorb the cost of that model. The advertisers are no longer willing to fund it. And the government is no longer willing to ignore it. The era of unchecked chaos is over. And Kai Cenat, whether he survives this or not, will go down as the creator who made the internet realize it needed to grow up. What do you think? Is Kai being unfairly targeted? Or did he bring this on himself? Drop it in the comments right now. I want to hear from you. And if you want more deep dive celebrity and creator economy breakdowns like this, hit that subscribe button because we post new videos every single week. See you in the next one.